Hand clap, brothers and sisters. We are finally back. We've finally been into another reaction on this Mystelics reaction. Guys, welcome to every single one of you guys, all the Mystelics family and the new individuals who tuned in to see what's up in my thoughts and comments on this vibration, brothers and sisters. Why don't y'all leave your thoughts and comments also in the comment box below? Keep in mind, brothers and sisters, on Saturday I'll be reacting to the comments of the video that have the most comments. So definitely leave your thoughts and comments, and of course you'll get my reaction on your thoughts and comments as well on Saturday on the video that has the most comments, brothers and sisters. So leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. Yet again, brothers and sisters, of course you guys have been doing really a good job on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course today's Thursday. Drop it again on Friday, and on Saturday we're gonna be doing that reaction. Don't forget, of course, to click the thumbs up button. Click it, brothers and sisters. Don't be shy. Click the thing. I would appreciate you guys definitely doing so, and happy to push these videos further and further. And of course, being recommended, YouTube, when you click the thumbs up button, will tend to recommend more of my videos, so you guys definitely do so right there. Of course, subscribe and turn on post notifications so be notified when I post and publish my videos. And of course, with that stated right there, brothers and sisters, let us get into the vibrations of today right there. There was something rather interesting that I saw, brothers and sisters, that got to my attention. Let me put this thing up. All right, brothers and sisters, and of course it's on the concern of lawyers in Dominica, whether the lawyers in Dominica are bubbling the Dominican people, are utilizing their proficiencies, brothers and sisters, to further bubbleize the Dominican people right there. And of course we have none other than Joshua, Francis, and of course on Matt in the Talk on the Block, and of course none other than the legendary Anderson Jordy, of course, giving his viewpoint right there on that sentiment. Let's take a listen to what is going on, brothers and sisters. I'll post this link in the description below, so you guys can definitely check it out if you want to see the full video uninterrupted. But of course, this is a reaction, so let's get into the vibrations right now.
That the lawyers keep under the microscope because everybody's complaining that the lawyers are not doing their work. Mr. Joshua, how do you defend, accusations like that?
Good question.
Max, good afternoon to you. It's a pleasure.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to have you. Well, no. We need your opinion because I'm not a lawyer myself, but I slept at a Holiday Inn last night, so I feel like one because I have to deal with a few bad ones. So you got to know. But it's good to have you here, Joshua, to explain for us.
Well, I'm here basically to clarify things.
Yeah.
I will address components of. I will dissect what from what I heard from Andy yesterday. I didn't hear everything because I had some work to do.
So Andy actually had a talk on the block yesterday, brothers and sisters, November 18th, where he was talking about the number of lawyers and talking about how lawyers are bamboozling the Dominican people and so forth and so forth. And the indication was about somewhere between 70 to 80% of lawyers in Dominica are bad lawyers. And when you look at the statistical fact of what is going on, brothers and sisters, you can say, well, there seems to be some sort of understanding here. Let's continue.
But I'm happy to be here this afternoon to add value to the discussion and to clarify certain things that Mr. Jolly may have brought to the fore. And I'm not here representing the Bar Association or
by no means, which is non-existent, by the way.
These are answers.
As a matter of fact, I did get here from the president who said she's willing to join me tomorrow.
Well, that's great.
That's good. Because
there is a Bar Association, but is the Bar Association effective? I think that's what Anderson was talking about right there. Although there is one, is it effective? Talk to me, brothers and sisters. We need to know.
A lot of the problems or questions that we might raise today might be good for explanation. So I hope she's out there listening to.
She needs to come, yes.
I'm hoping she does. So just in a nutshell, what do you think about the lawyers here in Dominica? Do you think that they do fairly doing a good job? And you want to give them 15% of good lawyers? Would you grade that?
No, I'm not in a position to grade the lawyers or in determining who is good, who is bad.
Okay.
Like Andy, I've heard things. I can speak for myself.
Okay.
That's what he's asking. What are your thoughts? Do you think that they are good or bad lawyers? Yes or no? That's what you should ask. Answer.
Facts in respect to a particular matter. I may have certain facts, but I cannot disclose certain things here because of client lawyers' privileges. And by no means that I am hiding or covering things for lawyers.
You're not hiding anything.
But sir, they ask you about the lawyers. They didn't ask you about client lawyers' privilege. What do you think about the lawyers? Do you think the lawyers are properly carrying out their duties to the Dominican people? Are they fully holding justice? What on earth does client lawyer privilege have to do with the question, sir? Anyways, let's continue.
It's a legal principle in our practice that if a client were to have a discussion with a lawyer, then the lawyer ought not to discuss it with anybody else. I mean, that's one of the items or elements that make up a good lawyer, being able to be trustworthy. So I cannot, unlike Andy, I cannot make disclosures as to who is good, who is bad. What I know is that in Dominica has competent lawyers. Some have proven themselves over the years. Everywhere in the world, you find persons who are perceived to be good and those who are perceived to be bad. Sometimes it's just a mere perception. Sometimes it's actually based on facts. And what I can say, and I do want to speak to Andy, concerns about the legal fraternity is legitimate. I would not say that Andy, is on a frolic of his own. He's deluded. No, that's not the case. I believe.
So you are pretty much admitting that there is some sort of discrepancy when it comes down to lawyers carrying out their proper duties. Yes. So the answer is yes, Joshua. It might not be all of them, obviously, but some of them. That's
that there are concerns about us as lawyers.
Several. But what you can do if you don't want to call their names, when we call their names, you just nod your head.
Well, I hope you wouldn't call names.
You don't have to disclose anything. Right? If we call a name, what you can do is just nod your head.
Right. I hope you don't have to call names.
No, I don't think that's not necessary.
I think that for the discussion, Andy, what your concerns about the legal fraternity has caused is to bring back the topic of a legal professional bill.
What's that?
Well, that's a piece of legislation that has been dancing with the legislators in Dominica for over 15 years. There was a particular law.
A bill that will tell the lawyers, a bill that will pretty much hold the lawyers accountable to the things that they are supposed to be doing. In other words, if you give lawyers the ability for them to do what needs to be done, for it to transfer land to whoever, and instead the lawyer transfer the land to the rights of the people, the lawyer is holding your land paper, hoping that you somehow die so that they can take your land from you. What is...
Lawyer who found himself in hot water, and his political opponents went into parliament and said, it is coming. And what they were referring to was to pass legislation to regulate the conduct of lawyers in Dominica. So we learned about the legal professional bill, and that has been a discussion from since 2009. Matter of fact, I do have certain articles which were published and discussed in the public concerning the legal professional bill.
Well, if it's 2009, that is 16 years, 16 years has passed, and that bill still has not passed yet. That will hold lawyers accountable to the people. It still hasn't passed yet.
2008 it was. Francine Barron, my learned friend, was the Attorney General of Dominica.
And she was pushing it.
Well, I thought that was in 2010.
Yeah, that's 2010. So this goes back 15 years, literally.
Yes.
That this has been owing to the Dominican people.
Right.
Yeah.
So she said to the public.
So my question is, why hasn't it come through yet? Why? What reason would it be? 15 years that will hold lawyers accountable to the people that are doing business with them. Why hasn't it passed yet?
That her government was going to enact a legal professional
Labour
bill.
Party government.
And coincidentally, at the time, Levi Peters, the current Attorney General, was the president of the Bar Association. And he placed on public record that the Bar Association of Dominica would support such piece of legislation.
Of course. It's all talk.
Since
And he's not the AG.
2010. He's not the AG. So
he's done nothing since then.
Well, in 2016, after he became the AG in 2016, again, he came back in the public and said, we are going to pass the legislation. Because, again, there were discussions about the behavior of certain lawyers, the conduct of certain lawyers. And he came out and he said, we are going to pass that piece of legislation. I'm aware that the bill was given to the Bar Association, and the Bar Association members sifted through the proposed bill. And again, it went to sleep. It was placed on the shelf. That is the...
So nothing has been done, Joshua. Joshua, just say no. You want to give a whole long talala to say, oh, they propose, go and read for Bar Association, they read it and what have you, and it placed on the shelf. Has anything done? No. Simple. Joshua, what are you doing? Are you playing tactics with the people or something? What exactly is going on?
Piece of legislation. And in 2018 and 2019 thereafter, Mr. Levi, the Attorney General of Dominica, again
brought it
assured
back.
the public of Dominica.
So we have a lot of empty promises. Nothing has been delivered as yet. But,
Yeah.
but Joshua,
Before Joshua,
Interesting.
why do you think this bill is being dragged on?
Yeah.
Well, I wish you find mine.
but I think Matt.
I think I know I think I know why. Because corruption is amongst corrupt people. Not all are corrupt. But sometimes, even with a group of corrupt people, brothers and sisters, those who are not corrupt get corrupt as a result of cultural practice. Oh, this is standard practice. This is what we have been doing for 50 years. Oh, we take the people land and we delay in their ability for them to pass on to their children or whatever. Or having the ability to pass on land to people. And it has not been done yet. We have the people's land paper. The reason why I'm mentioning land paper, because I actually think or know of an actual situation that is happening today, brothers and sisters. For donkey years, they have the people paper and not passing it on to them. They try to go back and forth. Donkey years. They still have the people land paper hoping for the people to die so that they can get. I've heard of previous situations like this where the people die and then they take the people land instead of passing it on to the family members. I know a particular boy, I tell you.
Tell you the truth, I think that piece of bill might be being dragged on because if that bill is enacted, think of all those bad actors that are there. They are now subject immediately to that bill.
Yeah.
So if there were people, for instance, in political positions, and Joshua can probably correct me, and all of a sudden we pass that bill, all of a sudden everybody will be subject to obey it
yes.
right away. But there are so many people who
are involved in corruption when it comes onto that situation right there, that they don't want to pass the bill.
Be a little shady in there. It's not in the best interest of them or the politicians to pass it. And maybe some of those politicians might be involved as some of the bad actors as well. What do you think, Joshua?
Well, what Andy saying has merit.
Has a lot of merit.
If that piece of legislation were to be passed, it means all of a sudden lawyers can be taken to a disciplinary authority for answering to questions. And if there are current issues happening, maybe starting in 2000 or 2001, and then you have an aggrieved party, a client, who is in a continuous problem with an attorney over money, land, whatever it is, it means that it's current. And with that legislation, it means that that client may be in a position to file a complaint to an authority which will be described in the act.
But shouldn't that be done a long time ago? How on earth do lawyers have people land and people money and all kind of thing and still not bringing forth what they're supposed to bring forth to the clients? How on earth lawyers have people stuff for 5, 10, 15 years? And they're still not getting through because that bill has not been enacted yet. So they're taking advantage, full swing. I heard of a particular individual that took an individual's money and gone put that money into some other business. It's not you. How you taking people money and putting it in some other business? Is your money? You taking the client money and putting it in your own business? When the money is supposed to go into some sort of real estate or something for that client, you take it and boy, what is that? That is your audacity.
For disciplinary action to be taken against.
Have you had a chance to sort of review this piece of bill?
Back then I did. I can't remember the
details.
Yes, but there are different areas in the bill to deal with different aspects of the profession.
So Joshua, why weren't you the one who were pushing these things? In matter of fact, because you read this bill, you indicated to us right now. Why weren't you one of the individuals who was helping to push these bills to ensure that there's fairness, that lawyers do not take clients on advantage, do not take them for long run? It's not post-war carnival, it's long run they're taking clients on, brothers and sisters. Why weren't you one of the individuals if you saw it as a bill that needs to happen to protect? Because lawyers are there to protect the will of the people, not true? On the basis of the Constitution and the laws that have been written on the books. So why haven't you, Joshua, why haven't you pushed it yourself? Or tried to get it pushed yourself? Or enacted to, hey, we need to bring this up and so forth and so forth. Because now you're telling us that you read it donkey years ago, you forget what in the bill, which means you yourself did not even care to even push it or help push it. If it's a right for the people to protect the people. Interesting, ain't it?
Why is it so difficult? I won't use the word difficult, but it seems that lawyers in Dominica seem to be dragging their feet, Joshua, and of course Andy will support me on that. As it relates to taking up a case against each other. They say you guys are from the same club.
Yep.
The lawyers club.
Well, I could say the same about the pharmacists, the pharmaceutical society. I could say the same about the medical society.
I think there is a club though, but at some point in time, I think there should be a level of practice that all your peers should be held to. So for instance, I'm going to ask you a question. If I had a case against a particular lawyer and I brought it to you, and well, we all know I have one against Condwani Williams, but I mean, there's several other names that we could call. Would you
I know.
as a lawyer take it on personally today? If I brought the case and said I've been harmed by this person, and I would like to file a grievance and have you pursue it to the fullest of the ability, would you take it on?
I have taken up a few matters.
Did I ask you that, no? Did I ask you that? He asked you a specific question, soon. Not what you have done before. What you have done before could most likely have nothing to do with the question he asked you. Would you take it up if I were to bring it to you? Yes or no?
So you would take on my case?
Good.
No, but
Good. I love Andy. Respect. That is what I used to be a journalist. That is journalism, brothers and sisters. When they make statements and they try to run away from it, you bring back the question on them. Would you take it off?
Settled on the court.
So you would take on my case?
I would give it
That would,
consideration.
no, but would that be a
You give
yes
it
or no?
consideration. You would not. Let's bring it back.
So you would take on my case?
I would give it
That would,
consideration.
no, but would that be a yes or no?
Personally, no, I would not.
Okay. Simple. You wouldn't take it. So that means, Joshua, you are part of the problem, Joshua. Knowing that a client is bringing grievance against another lawyer to you and has merit to prove that that lawyer is doing very wrong to that client, you say it as a lawyer that you would not take it on. Joshua. I myself have personal dealings with Joshua. And what I hear in there is nothing surprising to me. Nothing surprising to me.
I would not, and I would not, because Condoani Williams is not just Lynette's brother, he's a friend. I cannot possibly take a matter against a friend.
Why not? He's done harm.
What friend have to do with thing? What friend have to do with nothing? It's based on the books. What friend knows? What friend business that? No, I understand. If it's your friend and you checking, boy, if I have to go against a person, I wouldn't do it. But when it comes on to client, so all his friends, huh? What if the whole by association, everybody's friends? So they would not take anybody against each other. Huh? This is why that bill should be passed. So you shouldn't even worry about, I'm that person, my friend, so I wouldn't go after them. That's why the bill is so important. But for 15 years, it hasn't passed. 15 years.
If anything, you should be the friend to put the friend back on the right position.
Exactly.
Jesus would want Joshua.
That can be done privately.
Talk to him. Give him the... Lovely. I love this, man.
Not openly. I can chastise a friend. I can speak with a friend privately. I do not have to put him on open display.
But why, speaking not from your position, why would another lawyer not want to? How many lawyers do you think, out of the, let's say we have 100 lawyers in something, how many of them are willing to take up people's battle and
Exactly.
go fight it against another lawyer?
Exactly.
There are lawyers who are prepared to do that. I have seen materials out there where lawyers are attacking other lawyers.
But you won't.
You would not even have the courtesy to call the lawyer on the other side to say, look, I have a matter, you may be implicated, let's have a conversation. In my practice, if somebody would come to me to complain about a lawyer, I pick up the phone and I call the lawyer.
But they don't do that. Joshua, they do not do that, Joshua. How do I know? Because standard practice tell you what is the culture at present, and the culture at present within the lawyer fraternity is taking advantage of their clients. So you mean to tell me all you talking to each other when you know they're doing wrong against the people, and it just continuing for 15 years? Really? Who you telling that cock and bull story? Me? Who you telling that cock and bull story?
And I try to deal with the matter in a very amicable way without having to go.
But the person,
So apparently none of them listening to you. Nobody listening to each other. A lawyer friend of mine does wrong. He knows he's doing wrong. I come and talk to them. And apparently nobody listening to each other. Because there's a big problem in Dominica right now. To the point where the bill, people are afraid of passing that very bill, that the whole law is accountable. Interesting.
doesn't really want something amicable. They want to make sure that their grievances are heard and they have a settlement or something that is tangible that they can go forward with. And usually, most of these cases have to do with lawyers who take people's money and don't bring it back. Lawyers who do not give satisfactory settlement. And Matt brought up a good case yesterday where this guy sold a house for close to $500,000. However, when he was given the final payment, it came to less than $100,000, and nobody could tell him.
Because the lawyer took their fees. I know of a particular lawyer where indicated, based off a circumstance, if that person won, they know that, remember, you have to pay lawyers. Not sure you pay lawyers their money for you to handle a case. It has also been brought to my understanding, and I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact. So let's say you have to pay a lawyer $5,000 to carry out your case, right? Great. Now in the winnings, the lawyer telling you, okay, we pay you $5,000, you end up getting $50,000. That is the reward. The lawyer is then telling you that they have to get a cut in that $50,000. So what are I paying you for? Huh? Why didn't we just say, you know what, okay, I don't have the money, I have the money to pay you, but don't do it. Let us win the case, and when we win the case, you get a cut from that 50,000, I get a cut from the 50,000. You get 15,000, I get the rest 35,000. That would make sense, not true? But no, Lawyers telling you that you need to pay them their $5,000 to $10,000 first, and then when you win again, you then have to get a cut. They have to get a cut from the money that you win and you pay them already. Tell me how that making sense.
What happened to the extra $400,000? So how do we deal with something like
Well, in a situation like that, it's for the client to go to his attorney or his former attorney, wherever he wants to categorize him to ask questions. So,
But Joshua, that's the point. How you winning $500,000 and you getting $100,000? That means the lawyer take $400,000 for themselves. So you telling me that I need to go to that lawyer and say, hey, how come I get that amount of money and it's $500,000 that I won? How come? Then you would tell me that other lawyers watch that other lawyer and say, hey, what you're doing is wrong, and then nothing is being done, nothing happening, Joshua, really?
you're supposed to collect $500,000. You have only given me $100,000. What happened to the additional $400,000? And it is for the lawyer to answer. In a situation like that, if that really happened, clearly there is something wrong.
So then would you need to take another lawyer to go after that lawyer? And in Dominica, how the system run, the bar association seems to be running, you cannot do that because most of them is friends. Most of them is friends, brothers and sisters. Just like Joshua said, he would not go after a particular lawyer because he's his friend. Not on the basis of lawyer, what the lawyer doing wrong. No. If he's your friend, you would say, hey, friend, stop your dirty ways. If you don't stop your dirty ways, I'm coming after you. There is no time that the lawyers holding their friends accountable to the wrong things that they are doing to the clients in Dominica or wherever they have any clients. Not true. Talk to me.
Yeah, maybe something wrong. I do not know. Maybe they the lawyer a lot of money. The lawyer decided to remove
$400,000 they owe the lawyer. Really?
that was owed to him. I'm just saying, it could be settled.
There's a case that was presented to me yesterday. That somebody paid, poor person, paid a lawyer $400 to just, make a representation on her behalf. She said nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. Another lawyer is saying, well, if you want your money back, sue me. So, but to sue you.
Sue you. So you have to pay another lawyer for to get your $400 back. And that is why the bill is so necessary that Joshua himself say he read. And apparently did nothing on what he read to even advocate for the people or the clients to stop being taken advantage of by the lawyers in Dominica. Interesting.
Would cost more than $400.
Yeah.
So how can you resolve problems like this?
Well, there are other ways. I mean, you could speak with the attorney. The attorney is unwilling to listen.
The same attorney that tell you take him to court for the $400.
You get another attorney to speak with that attorney.
So you know that attorney have to pay another money again to go after that attorney for your $400. You see what the craziness is happening, brothers and sisters?
You get a family friend.
That's a difficult Joshua.
Right. Well,
Joshua, there's a lot of speaking going on, but I
Yeah.
think what most people are looking to hear here, and I'm just going to brack it out because this is the elephant in the room. Most people want to go for the legal channel. They don't want to, hey, I have a friend, I'm going to talk to the friend, and we're going to meet for drinks later, and we're going to try to settle something. Most people want to see action on
Yes.
a legal case. And if you're doing this friend thing, we might as well just see a therapist.
well, Andy, the law provides for an aggrieved client to take an attorney to court. It's a civil matter, and if there are criminal elements to a situation or to a transaction, likewise, the client can take criminal action.
But the problem with that is, even understanding that certain people that have plenty money do tend to take lawyers to court, and the whole system is rigged to the point where even people that have money, taking lawyers to court is like a waste of time. Much less for the people who barely making it to then take people to court for the wrongs that they have been doing. Especially understanding the very justice system. Even the judges and new judges that have come and say cases are piling up on top of each other. They are piling up unsolved cases. Then what the government wants to do now is they put their own case and their case have to go forward. Their case is going forward, leaving the other people that cases that have piled up. There have been cases 10, 15 years that haven't called. What about the case that Lennox them at was bringing about ministers asking for favors to exchange to give people certain things? What about that one? Donkey years that pass on that.
If, as in your case, a client were to file a complaint at the police station, Rosa Police Station, in respect to a lawyer, and the police is of the view that they have reasonable and probable cause to arrest or charge that lawyer, then the police is supposed to do so. And if the client thinks that the police is not acting for whatever reason, the client has a right to file a private criminal action.
Yeah, but Man and I were talking yesterday, and one of the points that we brought up, which was very interesting, and it's true.
Hey, guys, Click the thumbs up button for Mr. Andy Jolly, brothers. Click the thumbs up. That is my kind of vibe, brothers and sisters. That is my vibe. Let's get down to the root of things. Don't try to go all over the place. No, you're not doing. You would never do that to me. Never. That's why they wouldn't have me in press conference.
Police are actually afraid of the attorneys because they know the attorneys are smarter than they are when it comes to legal issues. The attorneys are actually smarter, and not only that.
But the interesting thing about that, bro, before I continue, guys, it's not supposed to be on what attorney is smart or whatever. It should be guided by law. This is one of the reasons why they don't have the bill here. It should be guided by law. The police is supposed to act on based of the law. It has nothing to do whether you're afraid attorney or not. Did the attorney do you wrong? Yes. Is it guided by law based on has the law stated that they have done it wrong? Yes. And therefore they should be brought to justice. Simple. Because then that means the police themselves working in cahoots with the very lawyers and they have their own look trouble in that place, there, boy.
I'm going to tell you, the CBI attorneys are probably better connected than some of the police officers at their pay grade. So here you are trying to arrest somebody who's better connected than you, who knows people higher up, and who knows the legal system. Don't you think that poses a challenge for our law enforcement? Because the law enforcement don't know very much about legal issues.
True. That's fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. The police themselves, I don't know what kind of training they do it for 6 months, but it's wasting their time. Wasting their time. The police don't even know. Brothers, this is sometimes you ask yourself questions. You've seen police doing certain things. I remember police was talking to me the other day, and the police had no clue what I was talking about. No clue. And you the police.
I'm going to tell you, I've seen the law enforcement work in Dominica, and it is the absolute poorest I've seen.
Yes.
And it's a small country. Everybody knows it.
What small country have to do with nothing?
The ideal situation would be for the police to be impartial and to carry themselves in a professional manner.
But the same thing for the lawyers, sir. The same thing for the lawyers.
That again, the ideal situation would be what?
For the police to be impartial and to show integrity in the administration of justice.
That's true. I agree.
Irrespective of color, social, economic background. But the reality is that we live in a small country and people try to protect each other. You know, we are each other brothers keepers.
Yeah, but we are brothers keepers even though they're doing wrong. And
against the very people? What kind of brothers keeper is that?
To others. Even though they're stealing, they're robbing, they're raping, but we are their keepers still. What does that say about us? We're not brothers keepers.
Well, Andy, again, the law provides that if somebody will to do something offensive or to break the law, and it's criminal in nature, the police is supposed to take action.
That is true. And we haven't seen any action yet, man, right?
That's the problem.
Very much action coming
That's
from
the problem.
Headquarters as yet. In fact, I had a meeting. How long have you been dealing with that case? Oh, I've been dealing with the case since March. 3 years ago. No, well, the issue started 3 years ago. It progressed until January this year. The resolve, which didn't come through, happened in February, and then it was taken to the police station in March. But Matt, you know what I was told? I had a meeting with the officers yesterday concerning my situation, and one of the things that I told them, I said, I am taking a good look at exactly how the police is working. Because here's the
That's exactly what I did. That's exactly how I did, brothers and sisters. And keep in mind, I know police people all over the place, brothers and sisters. My plight is not against the police, My plight is against the accountability factor that is lacking in all sectors. In all, not some, in all. That's why they don't pass the bill to keep the lawyers accountable.
Think back. If the police puts me at risk, for instance, they were supposed to arrest the individual, maybe take the passport, maybe close down the office, maybe put that individual in jail. But the police didn't do its job. At that point, don't you have a legal case against the police?
Well, yeah, if you think that the police failed in its duties.
So who are you going to take a legal case against the police? Not other lawyers. And the very lawyers themselves might be in cahoots with the police. So it's a circle. It's a big circle, brothers and sisters. Boy.
Because the police has a duty to the public.
Exactly. And that's a good reminder. A police duty to the public, not to whoever they feel. Right. But let's take a phone call. Are you there, Malaki?
Yes, Matt, I'm Debbie. You have 2 lawyers in the house, Matt, and you is what? The jury? Anyway, just blessings to you, George. I respect you that much. I hope I'm not going to be any scandal about you. Can you talk, Josh?
Not for long, blessing. Not for long.
Let me go a little ahead.
Let's go on. But let me have. You didn't have the best man. You had the worst man, Joshua. That's what you have to.
But the one is not just a friend, he's my best man. He's the one who stood as my best man when I got married.
Are you divorced? No?
Yes, I am.
You see, that's probably why you.
Look things in that
You
place.
didn't have best man, you had the worst man, Joshua.
You're the worst man. That's why he was
You had
today.
the worst man.
That's crazy.
Joshua. But that explains a lot where your life has gone. Let me ask you a question to bring it back. One of the hot topics we had yesterday. on the show
Boy,
again.
Andy, I like Andy. Guys, boy, that's why people are afraid to come and think with me. Guys,
Was the
I holding you to the fire, man.
fact that there are several attorneys who are gaming the system and possibly using bank accounts, which are personal bank accounts, instead of using bank accounts that are held in trust, or they're using people's personal funds to handle their personal needs. What is the right answer? What's the right way this should be done? And is this a common practice here? I mean, what percentage of lawyers you think are not holding people's money in trust? They're just putting the money in their own account. They might be getting interest on it. They might go buy groceries on your money. They might buy a building in Roseau.
That's true. No, brothers and sisters, what Andy's talking about is the holding facility. So when you, as the client, give the lawyer your money, whether it's 100,000, a million, whatever it is, 500,000, they should put that money in a trust. That money goes in a trust, and then the lawyer does what they need to do to acquire what the client needs to be done. But instead, it seems like that money doesn't go in no trust. It goes in their personal bank accounts. It goes into their personal bank accounts, brothers and sisters. That's what he's talking about right there. How does it end up in your personal bank account? And the trust is supposed to be? Or you holding thing?
And with your money, I mean, what percentage are doing that?
Well, Andy, I do not have a percentage. I don't have any data on that. What
I know you wouldn't give no percentage.
say to you is by practice. When an attorney holds money for a client, it means that the attorney serves as a trustee, and that money is supposed to be placed in a client's account.
So how do you know when you're
not
sending? How do you know when you're sending an attorney money that is not their personal account versus a trust account? Should it have something that says trust on it?
Well, naturally, we as lawyers, we are supposed to be trusted.
I know you're not.
But you're not.
So if I have money holding for you, it's supposed to be taken naturally. That money is being held in a client's account. And
So how do we know it's a client's account? I mean, how do we get a statement, or how, should we ask the attorney? Can we ask to see what account they're putting it in? I mean, what I'm saying, I'm coming to you as a layperson, and I'm saying, hey, Joshua, I'd like to handle this case, and you said, okay, send me $10,000. How do I know, or when I write that check, how do I know it's actually going in an account
And not
that
your
is a
personal
safe
account? Yep.
versus
That's a
a
good
regular
question.
person's account? How do we know?
well, Andy, as I said, if you go to an attorney, it is taken that this is a trustworthy person. If
You're just repeating the same thing. Thus, you're not answering the question, Joshua.
you give the person monies and there are legal fees involved, the attorney will extract the legal fees and the remainder has to be placed in a client's account. So you get a statement, you get a financial statement.
So people are
from the
supposed to
account.
be getting statements from that account,
Yeah, you're supposed to get well, not from the account, because
or from the attorney.
from the attorney. So the attorney will give you a statement reflecting what is being held in trust versus what is being paid to his office as legal fees. And naturally, naturally it is taken once a lawyer has money on behalf of a client that money is placed in a client's account.
But is this
It
common
is not-
practice in Dominica?
I would say it's common practice.
You would say. So one of the things, brothers and sisters, I deal with a lot of lawyers from time to time. And one of the things you have to do, you have to ask them specific questions to get specific answers directed to the specific question that you ask. One of the things where they answer you with a positive, it's kind of being politically correct. They answer in a positive light that looks like a yes, but it's not necessarily a yes. They will say, okay, well, this is what it is. Well, that's what we're hearing. That's standard practice. That's what they're telling you, not necessarily yes. But then again, he would not know for all lawyers. But then again, he's his friend, so he'll know the cultural practice of his friends, no?
Think so?
Yes, I think it's common practice.
So every lawyer you think that's in Dominica has a trust account? Because we talked to a banker yesterday and he told us the opposite.
Well, I wouldn't dispute that either. Maybe they are.
You just contradict yourself. You just contradict yourself there.
You think so?
Yes, I think it's common practice.
So every lawyer you think that's in Dominica has a trust account? Because we talked to a banker yesterday and he told us the opposite.
When you brought the bank or the situation to him, he realized, you know, a little bit more than just him saying he thinks so.
Well, I wouldn't dispute that either. Maybe there are one or two lawyers who may take clients' money and put in their personal accounts. But I'm saying to you that I do not have any record, any facts to support the statement that lawyers take money and put in their personal accounts.
Are you there? Yes. Sorry about that.
Joshua's defense side. If I have a case and I go to Mr. Francis and say, I would like you to represent me against this individual, and he says to me, I can't. Ask him why. It is because I have a close relationship with the individual. I think that's being very honest on the spot. Because would any one of us, if we were attorneys, would any one of us want to take a case against our brother?
No, I agree with what the caller is saying. It's not what I'm against that Joshua says his friend, you want to take him to court, fight against his friend, you know. The point is, if you know that your friend is doing wrong, and you're talking to your friend and your friend doesn't want to amend their dirty ways, you as the lawyer should say, well, I'm sorry, but you need to do what is right by the people. And if you're not doing right by the people, that means you're holding the person, the lawyer that is doing wrong to the client, you're holding him responsible. And if he doesn't want to do it, you as his friend should save him from trouble down the road and say, I'll take on the case. If you as his friend, brothers and sisters, decide, I'm going to take on the case. Don't you think that lawyer will, boy, what I doing is really wrong. Let me amend my way so my friend doesn't have to take me to court. That is what you call my brother's keeper. That is it. Oh, God. Anyways, brothers and sisters, let me move on a little. Let me move on a little bit more, man. Let me move on a little, boys. You know, let me move on a little more. We close down in a while.
One escrow company, all our legal problems and lawyer problems would go away today.
Let's go back.
An escrow company, and we're probably being, you know, the banks are doing their best to get by everything as well. And here's what we have to do in Dominica: we need to start opening an escrow company, and an escrow company would solve everybody's problem. So probably Joshua can explain to us what an escrow company is. For
Talk
the people
to us.
that don't know there, if Dominica opened one escrow company, all our legal problems and lawyer problems would go away today. A legal and a title company would take away just about every problem we have in Dominica. But again, do the people above us really want something like that? Because
this is why they don't educate the people. Remember at one point in time, the lawyers had a lawyers association saying that they're going to educate the people about a number of things. What did that happen? Absolutely nothing happened, brothers and sisters. Nothing at all.
it's impartial and it regulates everything and everybody fairly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that will solve the problem.
Really?
No, it won't.
Yes,
Yeah, because you know, for the success of any institution, the players and actors must have integrity.
Yeah, and they don't. You missed the point, Joshua. You missed the point. The point is lawyers do not have integrity. You're saying that they need to, but they do not in reality. And as a result of having no integrity or little at all, then these things need to be placed in an escrow account where everything is checked down to the T. How you mean? You're pretty much saying that people need to have trust in the lawyers. The lawyers are showing themselves untrustworthy. You are still coming back and saying that people need to have the trust in the very lawyers that's showing that they don't have integrity. Help me understand this there.
So, for example,
well, it puts integrity on both sides. If you have an escrow, there's an individual, a God in the middle of it.
right? Yes, like everything else.
What about an escrow account for a client?
It comes at a cost, and who's going to take responsibility? Who's going to pay the cost?
Listen, I
for
will
the operation of the escrow.
But you still have to pay the lawyer fees and all those kind of things there. So you want more security. You do it. Not true.
This lost $1.5 million with Kondwani. I will pay it.
Well, but for you, that's okay. But if you're Dominica, don't want an additional fee in condo.
So why are you just take an additional fees for? Huh? Joshua? Boy, I should be there. Should be there.
Take the additional fee. Listen, I'm going to tell you, maybe we have 100, 150 lawyers in Dominica. We have 75 Kondwani Williams in Dominica.
Well, I don't know how you get to that figure. I really don't know, and I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Well, let's go for
I don't know how you get to that figure.
Are you there, Paul?
Yes, what I was saying in the first place.
Yes.
To Mr. Francis. Joshua, do you simply leave after somebody left whatever they had to their wife, and the wife preceded them in death like 4 years, and when that person dies, because the technical fees goes to a lawyer, so that will be probated at all? Should that be probated?
I didn't quite get everything.
I don't know
If the wife is the beneficiary and the wife predeceases the testator, then you have what you refer to as the chain of succession. So whatever the deceased wife ought to have benefited from, if there are issues of children, the children would become the beneficial owners.
Are you there? Oh, you're gone. I think Matt, what the question he's asking is basically the wife died, and technically everything supposedly goes to the husband. What he was saying is that all you should have done is just probate the husband and move forward. But
brothers and sisters, I do not be in probate at all. The best way for you to do when you transfer in stuff is to have a trust. You have a living trust, or sometimes you don't even have to do all these things. You can put these things under insurance. Things like wholesale, whole life, I say wholesale, whole life insurance or index life insurance. They do not teach you these things in schools. But when you know you're writing your will, brothers and sisters, making your will is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make. And keep in mind, you can do it yourself, you know, brothers and sisters, to avoid certain lawyer fees. You can do it your own. Even Scarrett alluded to that. I remember him saying this, that people, but you don't need a lawyer to do this. But you need the right documentation, you need the right set of things for you to do things. It's just that lawyers themselves know know it better than you. But you can do it yourself. However, to avoid probate, brothers and sisters, when the government, after you pay all sorts of taxes for your property and so forth and so forth and so forth, when you die now and you're passing it on through probate, you still have to pay more taxes. Brothers and sisters, this is why it's important to understand the system. And the system telling you, the system that is quiet that they don't teach you in schools. You have things like whole life or index life insurance. You have trusts. You have the trusts that you yourself do not own. You are beneficiaries when it comes down to these things. You have irrevocable trust, you have revocable trust, whichever one is better for you. Then you have these things passing probate free. No government have to touch nothing when you die. Understanding, boy, I tell you, boy, the things that you learn from the wealthy is incredible. Because they do not teach none of these things in school. Brothers and sisters, last 5 years I learned those things that you know. Last 5 years.
the caller also has to know in a legal situation, if the wife owned things, it then needs to be passed on. So if the wife had property, that property needs to move on to somebody else. Or it needs to be moved on to the children, or it needs to be moved on to the husband. So even in my case of my dad, for instance, when my dad died, we had to probate my dad's will. And everything then passed on to my, but it doesn't automatically pass on. And this caller is not getting that. You have to do the first probate of the first person. So everybody. And
there's lawyer fees, but Gasa, can you imagine? Like I said before, you pay all your fees, all your taxes, all those things on the property. You had nothing to pay. Then when you die, you pass it on to your children. Your children now have to pay fees and probates and all sorts of things. Sometimes the amount of money that they have to get, even lawyers have to end up taking a piece of your land, or if not all your land. They have to take a piece of your land, brothers and sisters, so that they can get paid because you don't have the money to pay them. Imagine having 2, 3, 4 acres. Let's say you have 4 acres, and they have to, and you cannot pay the lawyer because you don't have money to pass it on and put it under your name. You then have to pay fees, and sometimes you might end up with 3 acres because you don't have money to pay the lawyer. Therefore, the lawyer will take the land on you, a quarter acre, an acre of land on you or something for the compensation. This is why it's important to learn these things, my goodness.
Anybody who dies should get probated. And I think that's the caller called yesterday, that same question. Everybody who dies, if the wife dies, she should get probated. If the husband dies after, he should get probated. And so everybody who dies gets probated.
Anyways, guys, I know that probate business. I'll post this video in the description below. I'll also post the November 18 for you guys as well. And then you guys will let me know your thoughts and comments. Let me know your thoughts and comments, brothers and sisters, in the comment box below. Keep in mind, the video with the most comment gets reacted to. The comments in that video will get reacted to right there and then. So definitely leave your thoughts and comments on a number of things, brothers and sisters. Let's dialogue, man. These are my thoughts and comments. What are yours? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Click it, don't be shy. Click it to help push these videos further and further there. And of course, for you to be for YouTube to also recommend more of my videos for you guys, right there, click the thumbs up button. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you'll be notified also when I post and publish my new videos right there, brothers and sisters. Tune in tomorrow. I'll be jumping another one God's fear. And of course, with that said right there, brothers and sisters, be real, start leaking always. Thanks so much for watching. Be positive.